We provide two types of shredding services. One is one-time destruction, one is recurring. One-time destruction can be destruction of records that we have in our facility that we're storing. The retention date for those records is now legally passed, so those documents can be shredded. Also, we can go out into offices and pick up boxes. We did that for Bob Darden at one point in time and helped clear out a little spot. Also, the type of service we use is recurring shredding, and that's really what we do most of. Recurring shredding is a recurring schedule, either it could be daily, weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, of shredding. So we will actually place different types of containers. Over here we have a console. So we've got three different types of containers: a console, a shred bin, and a shredinator. A shredinator is a much smaller plastic container that fits into really tiny spots. This is a console. We've got three different sizes of it: a 24, a 27, and 36 inch, because different desks are different heights. So basically these are very good for fitting under the desk for people. And a good point was brought up, I think, from Michelle, was that paper, nobody wants to throw it. They don't want to get up and walk 100 yards or 50 yards or whatever to go throw this paper away. So their inclination is to take that paper and toss it in the garbage. Well, now we've got a security breach. It could be a HIPAA violation. It could be a FACTA violation. There's all types of things that can happen if you put documents to where somebody can get it. So we provide these containers. Now, a question was asked to me, how do we service this container? Well, basically the paper goes in here. As you can see, you cannot get your hand in here. You cannot get these documents. So we come by, we unlock it. There's actually a bag inside of this. The bag comes out and we actually take it. Now, it is a slightly larger version of this, but this is what we call a shred bin. Right? So it looks a lot like you can see actually the waste disposable units that we use in our house. So there's a couple sizes of this. What we do is we'll roll this in. It's locked. Bring it up to the console. Unlock this. Take the bag out of here. Dump it into here. Lock this up again. Lock this again. And now you've got your documents secure. So then we take this, roll it out, and then we shred the documents with them. Now, people also use these kind of containers in the office. They aren't great for right in the middle of the office area where everybody's walking around, because it just doesn't look that great. So a lot of people will put these in copy rooms, closets, storage offices, things like that. A lot of times also people will put the shredinator or the consoles or shredinators throughout the office. And then sometimes within companies we'll also allow them, if they sign a waiver, is give them a key. That way somebody in the office can control it. That way if this bin is full, before we come out to service it next, they can bring out the rolling bin and empty it out themselves. The key is to make sure that we don't have any documents getting out. As you know, identity theft is a huge thing. It's happening all the time. Just a couple of weeks ago in Fort Worth, Texas, a company was doing things with real estate, and basically they just took all these files and dumped them in the dumpster. And actually the newspaper's got a photograph. You're looking down inside the dumpster, take a picture, and there's just file folders just spread out. And every one of those had people information, personal information, Social Security, names, addresses, I mean anything just to create identity theft. So that's a problem. Another good point that was brought up to me this morning was by Wendy. Wendy had asked, there's different types of shredding of the paper. There's a straight shred, and that's something like if you use it, you've ever seen a home shredder? Take it, drop it down there, and all the paper just comes out of the line. She was asking if those things can be recreated. Well, the answer is yes. To the point that there are actually companies in the world and companies here in the U.S. that put those documents together for you. Now, these are legitimate companies. They're not, out here to scam people. However, there are some people that have had paper shredded. They need to get it back. Unfortunately, I think that although it's a legitimate company, the use of that service is not always legitimate. So the next question came up, okay, what about cross-cut shredding? Cross-cut shredding is taking that strip and cutting across here. That is much better. It's more difficult to put that together. However, these companies can do it. They're either doing it by hand and taking these pieces of paper and taping them together, and now you've got this document, thank you. Or they're actually taking images of these documents. And you know what computers can do these days. So they're taking all these images of these little bitty documents, and then they just move it around until all the pieces get put together. So one of the advantages of using our company, let's say you shred your paper in a home shredder, or even in your office and you're using one of those. Where does it go? Well, it's going to maybe go into a bag. You might even take it to another recycler. But now all that paper is all together to make full sheets of paper. What we do is we take this information after it's shredded and we co-mingle it with other shredding. So Bill, it might be your shredding mixed with Jim's. All of a sudden you've got, instead of this little bag of paper that can be recreated, you've got tons of paper that nobody's ever going to be able to get together, not even those companies. So these are one of our services.